So I've been putting off filming this video because I really don't want to talk about this book, but I kind of feel like I have to because everyone says that it's brilliant. It's not. Hi BookTube, it's Stephanie, and today I'm going to share with you my The Gilded Wolves review by Roshani Shartsky. The Gilded Wolves is about a crew of characters who are expert in acquiring things, and this is the biggest heist yet. So that's the basic premise of the story, like at the bare bones. But what it also has is that there are people out there in the world that have powers that's called forging, and these powers are rumored to come from these fragments called Babel fragments, that when the big Tower of Babel fell, these fragments carried on with them some powers, and some people can use the powers and some cannot. Yeah. And it also has these houses, usually like four for each fragment, that are experts in forging, that can make really big forging items, that can make big structures and things like that, but so can also like normal people. Now the whole premise of this sounds brilliant. I was really looking forward to it, and it let me down massively. First of all, the world building, I really liked the part where forging in this story has been a part of humanity forever. It has records of it, and it's viewed as something that has been around. It's nothing strange, and it's also nothing like extremely secret. Normal people can apply to go to the school to learn and become these craftsmen in forging items, and I liked that. I liked that it was such a like foundation in the story. It has always been there. It's nothing that people are like worrying about or thinking is strange. So I like that they were not like, we are following these special snowflakes. I love that fact that they were not special snowflakes in that regard. My problem with the world building is that that's kind of it. We didn't learn anything about the different kinds of forging, or what was very like common in forging and what was very uncommon. We learned that, for instance, Tristan, that's really good with plant life and make these amazing gardens that are beautiful things in which a flower goes through all its phases in like 30 seconds. We know that he's great at it. We know that he's sought after for his ability. But is he sought after because it's a rare ability, or because he's really good at this kind of common or like meh ability? We don't know, because we don't get any backstory about what forging means, except that forging has been around for millennia. And one thing that I did like about the story is that a lot of the names on locations and things like that are in French. We are set in Paris, so these buildings and the street, everything is in French. I love that. Sometimes they get like a translation, like for instance the Eiffel Tower, because this is set during that World Fair in which the Eiffel Tower was a part of, and then were actually supposed to be torn down immediately afterwards, which it's obviously weren't. So that was great. One pet peeve that I actually ended up having, and I think it was because I was mostly just frustrated, it had no effect on my feelings of the book. It was just one of those things, I'm reading this book, I'm really annoyed, why is this a thing? And that is, they don't use a single French phrase, word, or anything in the entire book, except for, as I said, names. And so they don't use any French as like this speech pattern at all. And then all of a sudden, in the middle of everything, someone says oui. As I said, I was just annoyed at that point, so I was like, Why are you all of a sudden speaking French? You would said yes in any other part of the book, but now you're saying oui. Minor pet peeve that weren't actually something that affected my feelings of the book, but it's one of those things that, since I was already annoyed, it just got worse. Then we have the main characters. So the main characters that we are following are, or the point of view we are following, are Severin, Lila, Enrique, and brain fart, Sophia. There we go. Yes, I had to look it up. So those are the point of view we are following. And on two other main characters that we're following is Tristan, who is Severin's half-brother or brother. I don't really know in what capacity he is his brother. And then we have Hypnos, which is head of one of the houses. Now Severin has a particular hatred towards the houses because he's the heir to one of the houses. But when he was supposed to receive his mark, so to speak, and take his place, he was basically just, no, it did not work, you're not his heir, you can't be head of this house. So he has a hatred towards the other houses and wants to see them fall, or to be more accurate, he wants to restore the house. And then we have Layla, who is from India. She needs to find a special book so that she can do certain things to fix things. And she has some forging ability in which she can touch something and then feel a memory or something like that. Then we have Enrique. He does not have a forging ability. He's from Philippines. He's from Asia. And yeah, he's very good at talking and making people feel welcomed and things like that. Yeah, and I don't see this as a spoiler because it's one of the points of why you should read the book. He's also bisexual. We can talk about that one later. And then we have Sophia, who has some obsessive compulsive behavior, and she's really good with forging more metals and things like that. She's really good at taking forged items, strip them down and finding out how they work and how they were put together, and to create some things of her own. Tristan is Severin's brother, and he's the one that can make these special things with gardens and flowers and things like that, and he's very sought after for his craft. And then we have Hypnos, that's the head of another family, and he is flamboyantly gay. Very cliche gay. However, he's also one of my favorite characters because he was the one that felt the most complete. In a lot of these, it was like, feel sorry for me, feel sorry for, and it's like, I don't feel sorry for you, I don't care. It just felt extremely cliche. They were not built up enough, and it was times where like, all right, wait, she's supposed to be from India. Layla is supposed to be from India. Severin is supposed to be half Caribbean. But at the same time, he's head of a very successful hotel without any aristocratic backing. In a world where racism is a thing because it's referenced a lot, how could he have become a very successful hotel owner if racism is such a big deal? And it does say that he takes after his father, which was a French aristocrat, but it doesn't make sense. The basis is, I've read so many reviews that said that, oh, racism is the thing, it has some commentary on that. I'm like, no, it doesn't. When it's convenient to the plot, it's a thing. But otherwise, it doesn't really matter. Like, at all. And it's just, like, for instance, Sophia is supposed to be Jewish. That's period. Like nothing else says that she's Jewish except for the fact that, well, as a Jude or as a Jewish woman, other than that, it doesn't matter that she is a Jew. It doesn't matter that Layla is from India, except for when it's convenient. Their nationality and where they come from, when it's convenient, it's used. But other than that, in everyday conversation and everything else, it doesn't really matter. And that really bugged me, especially since people says that, oh, it has this commentary, is this, is that. No, it's not. It's just used as a plot device when it's necessary and to get like points. That's what it felt like. And when it comes to Enrique being bisexual, yeah, if we need to get clarification of this 3/4 through the book in an info dump of 3 paragraphs, you have not built this up enough at all. And that was basically a lot of the things that happened. Oh wait, I didn't explain that, so I need to do it now because now I need to use that fact. For a first book in a series, it did not do enough to build these characters up. We don't get any explanation, as I said, why this half Caribbean man who took more after his father and looks more French because of it, why he can have a highly successful hotel business without any backing from the aristocracy, or however that's supposed to be pronounced. And honestly, that was the one thing that bugged me from the start, because these are supposed to be teens. There is no way that someone can in like a year build this up to get this very world famous hotel. No, they are adults. They have to be. The only ones that I could buy not being adults are Tristan, Sophia, and Layla. Layla, because we actually have an age, she is 18. And then the other 2 are younger, at least that's... I'm not gonna look up exactly their age because I really don't care. But there's no way that Severin is 18. Yeah, there's no way. And also, things didn't make sense that were presented. For instance, Tristan, when they have their meetings, prefers to sit on a pillow. Okay, and the other one sits in armchairs or whatever. And okay, why does he want to sit on a pillow? Because he's scared of heights. So the fact that he can walk and talk at normal height, but when he sits down he needs to be as low as he can. People that are afraid of heights, I can tell you, no matter how scared they can't sit on a chair because they can walk. And they're not scared when they're walking because of the heights. Because of what height they are at. The ending of this story, cliche, to the freaking max. It reminded me of, I think it's the season finale of season of Buffy, or it could be an episode finale. It doesn't matter. It was the end of the episode, and I was like, oh no, oh no. And then the last sentence, no, too cliche. I wrote in my Goodreads review, and I said it in my wrap up, that this felt like the manuscript to a 2-episode season finale without any build-up or any characterizations, because we already supposed to know these kids, and we're supposed to know their friendships and how they work. Basically, the ending of the book was, you want to read the next book, or you want to watch the next season so that you can see these things. And I'm frustrated. and disappointed in this book so much. I don't get what people are saying when they want Severin and Lila to get together, because it's this trope about they can't be together because of like angsty romance thing. It's not angsty. Severin's Lila is like, you're kidding? Why would you want them to be together? They are clearly not supposed to be together. Like, the frustration, I don't get why people like it. I really don't. It's, the cliches aren't done well, and the ending cliches. The one good thing that I can say that I really liked was the writing style. I did think that the way she wrote was really well done. It's where she put the information and things like that what bugged me, and obviously the whole entire thing. But actually, like, reading it, it was fast read, it was good pacing, it was good momentum, everything like that made sense, and that was very nice. I would not recommend this at all. This should have been revised again, or edited and moved around, and to get more depth to everything, because this is YA, but young adults are not that stupid. They are not that simple-minded. And if you say, oh, I get your points, but this is a guilty pleasure for me, I can buy that. I can definitely buy that, because one of my guilty pleasures has a multiple of issues. But this needed more. It needed better foundation. It needed to have more explanation of why people couldn't be together. It needed to have better backbone. It needed to have better, just better in general. So for the record, I have lowered my grade. On Goodreads, it's now 1 star, and it's my spreadsheet, it's 1.5, because talking with my friend, it made everything. It was the sole reason as to why we actually continued, because it was so much fun complaining to each other. And yeah, I would not recommend it. Please tell me what you like. If you liked it, great, because our book tastes are different, and they are supposed to be. But please tell me what you liked about it, so that I might get to the second book, if nothing else, just to make a vlog about it. Honestly, I'm really tempted now to do that, because it would be hilarious. Sure, it would be a lot of me just sitting here and using my webcam, but that could be fun too. But yeah, see you next time. Bye.